When the Vancouver Canucks traded for Sam Lafferty earlier today, I saw a bunch of people going out there and say, why did they do that? Why did they shell out a 5th-round pick to trade for a bottom-6 forward when there was a bottom-6 forward available on the market right here? He was signed by the Red Wings, and now he is in the system. Today, let's talk about the Wings scooping up Zach Aston-Reese on a 2-way deal. He's got a $775,000 cap hit if he is in the NHL. If he's in the AHL, he'll make $350,000. He also has been placed on waivers. So this is a guy that was acquired essentially for Grand Rapids and potentially to be NHL depth should the Red Wings need an extra player in their bottom 6. You could see the initial tweet that this Saravalli thing is following up. The Canes have released Zach Aston-Reese from his PTO, scoring 10 goals with the Leafs last year. So, ZAR, or Czar, I guess y'all call him, in Pittsburgh, was indeed a Carolina Hurricane for the preseason. He was alright, he was a little less than average. I mean, he wasn't good enough to crack that team. He was released from his PTO, and now he is signed with the Wings. Take a look at the press release here on the Detroit Red Wings website. Let's move the page over here. Forward has recorded 80 points in 307 NHL games with the Penguins, the Ducks, and the Maple Leafs since 2017-2018. There is a very long, just sort of summary of how Zach Aston-Reese has gone throughout his career. NCAA guy, Pittsburgh guy, Anaheim guy, Toronto guy. We can go over to the numbers here and crunch these out on Elite Prospects as well. Zach Aston-Reese is 29 years old, 6'1", 205, left-handed center winger, signed for a 1-year deal. This contract, of course, is with the Wings, and it's very, very cheap. Last season, he had 14 points in 77 Toronto Maple Leafs games, 10 goals and 4 assists, plus 1 goal for the Leafs in the postseason. He's never really been a top-tier point producer, but he's been good enough to stick around in the NHL. So, if he comes over to Detroit and gets sent down to Grand Rapids, this could be a very good addition for a pretty stacked Grand Rapids Griffins squad already. This is a depth addition of all depth additions, and if the Red Wings end up suffering a few injuries here and there to their bottom 6, Aston-Reese is going to be there to get called up and maybe play a few games and reestablish himself in the league. This is why I feel they signed the contract in this way. $350,000 as a guaranteed AHL salary is pretty high amongst AHL players. You're normally going to see AHL salaries range in the $100K to maybe even less than that type of range. So Zach Aston-Reese making $350,000, it's a pretty good dollar amount for a guy that will maybe just play in the AHL the entire season, and then of course if he gets called up, his salary gets doubled for the days that he is with the regular Red Wings. So this is a good contract for him. If it's all that he could have gotten, then okay, that's totally fine. Definitely not going to complain about Zach Aston-Reese coming over to Detroit to potentially be a mentor for the guys in Grand Rapids. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Zach Aston-Reese coming over to the Detroit Red Wings? How do you feel about how he's going to impact this Grand Rapids team? And if you are a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, what are your thoughts on this guy, and how do you think he'll fare in Motown? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.